Well, today we're in a unique period in the economy where, because of the digital transformation of mobile, social media, and the web, companies are shifting in their unit cost economics from traditional companies like Walmart and Wells Fargo to new companies like Uber and Airbnb. And I'm right in the middle of that digital transformation. So digital transformation started in the early 90s in the retail industry. And the reason the retail industry happened is because it's unregulated. It was very easy to do it. So we ended up with Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba, and they really are the digital transformation of Walmart, Target, Sears, and Kmart. Sears and Kmart are dead, Target's weak, Walmart's vulnerable because of the cost structure of the business. Today, what's going on is the regulated industries are now getting transformed. And so you saw the early indicator with Uber, with the cab industry, the transportation industry, with Airbnb in the hotel industry. Where I focus is in fintech, health tech, and gov tech. The big thing that's going on right now is you have 1 billion phones. Whenever a market gets transformed, there has to be the answer to why now. Why is digital transformation happening now? Well, in 2007, Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone, and actually getting that cell phone into people's pockets gave the voice of the consumer power that it never had before. So what that means is in traditional businesses, you had the voice of a company and the voice of the government, and you would have a cab industry and the government. What you have in the case of Uber, for example, is you have the government still, and you have the cab drivers, but you have the voice of the consumer, and it's all aggregated together in an application. So 10 years from now, when we look back, you're actually going to have a new form of an industry, a regulated industry, because the voice of the consumer is aggregated in the application. It gives them power at the table. So in my particular case, I was on the initial team of a company called SoFi, Social Finance. It stands for social finance. And what we were trying to do was build a digital marketplace and effectively create a digital Wells Fargo. In the same way Amazon created digital Walmart. And the way that we did it is we actually went into the market with a marketplace starting with student loans, and we now have 250,000 people as customers, and the company's gone from zero value to 4.3 billion in value in 5 years. And we have a path. Our objective is to get worth much more than that, like Amazon did, but it's because we're in such a window of digital transformation that industries like retail, like cabs, like hotel, now finance, like healthcare, are all under massive transformation. So someone like SoFi comes in with digital transformation. What it's really bringing in is transparency and accountability to a community. And when you bring transparency and accountability to a community, the community now has an A-B choice. Do I choose Wells Fargo or SoFi? Well, both can be good, but SoFi is actually transparent in what they're doing. Therefore, it's easier for the community people to go work for SoFi, and that's what we're proving out. What I'm trying to do is learn how to build digital marketplace companies. Like the Ford, the Model T Ford had 15,000 parts, but he had to figure those out. He didn't. Then what he did is he had to create the assembly factory and the assembly lines. But he had to create the tools and the lines. So what I'm doing is, I've seen some companies work, Amazon, eBay, Alibaba in retail. I've seen Uber work in a second market, in cabs, both regulated now. I've seen Airbnb work. I've seen SoFi work. I helped build that one. What I'm working on right now is creating the assembly line to actually replicate it. So I'm creating a financial assembly line, I'm creating a healthcare assembly line, I'm creating a government assembly line, and I'm helping i4J and in this community with the idea that there's an opportunity to create innovation for jobs, and possibly there's a global job assembly line where what that does, it's figuring out how to create companies that are replicable. So it would be, I've created one, I've seen a bunch of others. How can we actually create a factory, effectively a system in place where in these regulated industries we can create 100 companies both here and enable people to replicate it internationally?